Artificial intelligence demystified.
Okay, so picture this. You're in a vendor meeting. They're pitching an AI solution for your help desk, and they say, and I'm quoting directly here, "The model has been fine-tuned for your environment," and everyone in the room nods, including you, and you have absolutely no idea what that means.
The slow, confident nod. I know it well.
It's a reflex at this point, but here's the thing. I genuinely didn't know if fine-tuning meant they'd rebuilt the whole AI, tweaked something small, or just said words.
Right. And that distinction actually matters. A lot. When you're deciding whether to trust the thing or pay for it. So today, we're fixing that. Fine-tuning. Let's go. Before we get there, we need to spend 60 seconds on training, because fine-tuning doesn't make sense without it.
Okay.
Training is how an AI model learns in the first place. You take an enormous amount of text. We're talking a significant chunk of the internet, books, articles. And you expose the model to all of it over and over until it gets good at recognizing patterns and predicting useful outputs. It's not memorizing. It's more like developing instincts.
How much data are we talking?
Hundreds of billions of words. Think of it like this. If you spent every waking hour of your entire life reading, you still wouldn't come close to what a large model is trained on. It's a different scale entirely.
Right. So, by the end of training, it's basically a very well-read generalist.
Exactly. It knows an enormous amount about the world in general. And hold on to that. Because fine-tuning is what happens when you take that generalist and teach it something more specific to your world. So, fine-tuning. Plain English. You take a model that already knows a lot about the world in general, and you give it additional, focused training so it becomes much better at a specific task or a specific domain. You're not rebuilding it, you're sharpening it.
Okay, that already sounds less scary than I thought.
Here's the analogy I keep coming back to. Imagine you hire an experienced chef. This person has cooked every cuisine in the world. Italian, Japanese, Indian, you name it. They've got knife skills, flavor instincts, heat control, all of it. Fine-tuning is like sending that chef to spend 3 months exclusively in a Michelin-starred French restaurant. They don't forget how to cook Italian. They just become exceptionally good at classical French technique. You didn't train a new chef. You sharpened an existing one for a specific context.
So it's like... No, wait. It's more like the restaurant is your company's domain. Your data, your language, your use case.
That's exactly it. And it's much faster and cheaper than training from scratch, because you're starting from someone who already knows how to cook.
And look, where does that analogy fall apart?
Good catch. A chef retains full conscious memory of everything they learned before. A fine-tuned model can sometimes degrade its general abilities slightly, especially if the fine-tuning data is too narrow or too large. There's actually a name for it, catastrophic forgetting, which sounds dramatic, but it's a real thing to watch for.
Catastrophic forgetting. That's going in the vocabulary.
It should. Now, you had a question earlier, the one you weren't sure you should ask.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. If I fine-tune a model on my company's data, does that mean my data is now inside the model forever? And could it leak to someone else?
That is one of the most important questions anyone can ask about fine-tuning. And the honest answer is, it's nuanced, and anyone who tells you otherwise is oversimplifying. Fine-tuning does embed patterns from your data into the model's weights. So in a technical sense, yes, your data has influenced the model. Whether that creates a leak risk depends entirely on how the model is deployed. A privately hosted fine-tuned model stays in your environment. But if you're fine-tuning on a shared cloud platform, you need to read the data governance terms very carefully. The risk is real enough that it should be a contractual and architectural conversation before you start, not after.
Huh. I genuinely did not know that was a thing I needed to worry about before signing anything.
Most people don't, and that's exactly why it matters.
All right, let me try this. Fine-tuning is When you take an AI that already knows a lot and you train it further on your specific stuff, so it gets better at your thing without starting from zero.
That's the shape of it. Here's how I'd sharpen it into something you can actually use. Fine-tuning is when you take an AI model that already understands how the world works in general and give it focused extra training on your specific domain, so it becomes much better at your use case without starting from scratch. Think of it as the difference between hiring a generalist and investing a few months to make them a specialist.
I'm writing that down. That's the one.
Here's where this gets real. A vendor is pitching you an AI solution for your internal IT help desk. They say the model has been fine-tuned on IT support data and will understand your environment out of the box. You need to know if they actually did the work, or if they just connected a general model to a search tool and called it fine-tuning.
So what's the one question I ask?
Show me what data you fine-tuned on, how much of it there was, and how you measured whether the fine-tuning actually improved performance.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
For a bad vendor, yes. A good vendor has that answer ready and walks you through it. A bad vendor changes the subject or starts talking about the underlying model instead. The question works because it separates the people who did the work from the people who use the word.
So next time someone says fine-tuned for your environment in a pitch, I'm not nodding. I'm asking the question.
Next episode. Parameters. The number vendors love to brag about, and why a bigger number might actually be the wrong thing to ask for.
See you then.